Good morning, gamers. What's happening today? I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D. And today's DnDaily number 68. I am just feeling out of it today, so please forgive me for today. Today might be a little bit off the chain. Speaking of the chain, wait, I'll get to that in a moment. I want to first do what I've been doing, which is to update the Kickstarter for Critical Role. $8.145 million pledged, over 59,000 backers, almost 60,000 backers with 21 days left in the Critical Role Kickstarter. That is amazing, and I am incredibly impressed with what they have achieved, and I cannot wait to see what they produce. They did release a behind the scenes of how they made the video for It's Your Time to Roll, which is sort of the new animated teaser preview audio, music video. Anyway, it's a cool thing. It's animated. It's the girls and guys from the group singing. It's their intro for the Mighty Nine, basically. It's a cool video. If you haven't seen it already, just check that out. It'll give you a sense of what Critical Role is all about, I think. I'm all over the place today, everybody, and I just gotta admit to that. I got up early, which is killer. I got a goal to do 30 pull-ups before my birthday. I did 25 today, which is awesome, and I'm stoked about that. I possibly could have done 1 or 2 more, but I want to avoid injury, so I'm like, okay, 25 was solid. I feel good about that. I'm going to try to do another 25 sometime today and see how that feels. Yeah, I got these goals, and one of those goals is tied with someone I wore yesterday. If you checked out the video from yesterday, DnDaily number 67, I wore a new shirt I got. It's a natural one on top, a die that's natural one, and it says, keep calm and roll on. And I'm really trying to do that. Anyway, the designer of that shirt is Matt Bartlett, who I've done a wonderful, fun interview with and mentioned that already. You can check that out on my channel here. And he and I are working on something. I had an idea that I've had that I asked him for some help with, because he's an amazing graphic designer and an amazing illustrator, and I'm like, hey dude, check this out, I got this idea, give me a hand. He was hit for it, so I'm excited about it, and it's about to drop, y'all, and I'm feeling like crazy nerves about it. I don't know, I'm afraid it's gonna fail. I'm also like afraid it might be like hugely successful. What the hell does that mean? And there's like all this emotion coming up about it, and it's really kind of overwhelming. So I'm gonna push through it, and I'm gonna do it, so you can stay tuned for that. It's coming. It's in the next couple days. I'm gonna make this announcement and drop it. I just have a couple more things to get set, and then oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I will definitely need help from y'all to get the word out about this, but I'm excited about it. Anyway, like I said, this may go off the chain. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. And speaking of the chain, as I sort of previewed earlier, if you're not watching The Chain of Acheron, which is Matthew Colville's new creation, MCDM Productions, they're doing a really awesome game of D&D. And here's why. Their game of D&D is very underproduced on a certain level. It's super high quality production in the sense of great cameras. They're putting a ton of effort into making sure everything looks and sounds good, even though they're still early on and still working out bugs and whatever. But it's just an actual game of D&D the way they play D&D. So there's no you don't get this feeling from the group that they're putting on a show. That might change in the future. I sure hope not. They're not professional voice actors like the cast of Critical Role. They're not performers like the gals and guys that have been doing Sirens of the Realm. And they're not like internet personality types like others. You know, the folks that are doing Dice Camera Action and other such games out there. This is just like a bunch of folks who like to play D&D together, and they're going to show us their game. That's kind of what my games are like, but again, mine are all on Roll20. We've done some heads shots, you know, where you like see us on camera. Most of the games we're running are just voice and the gameplay, the actual Roll20 gameplay. I've been working on like doing a lot. Actually, the project I'm working on this week, the next video I'm going to release this week, I'm thrilled about it. I put a lot of effort into the editing at the beginning because I want the opening sequence or whatever, the opening 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, to be a lot more engaging and interesting. And I'm hoping that translates and that works. So please, I'll need some feedback on that when it comes out. But back to the Chain of Acheron, they're just doing a really cool, simple, straightforward game. That being said, Matt Colville is an incredible DM, I think, and he's got a pretty fun group of players. They're having a good time together playing D&D, and that's what role-playing games is all about, folks. That's what makes role-playing games fun. If you're not having fun, I mean, it's possible everybody's in a funk for that session, but generally speaking, if you're not like cracking jokes and kind of like teasing each other and getting into the story, and sometimes it'll get heated and heavy, and like hopefully your stories are like epic and incredible. But again, at the end of the day, you should be having fun. And it is pretty obvious to me when I watch the Chain of Acheron, they're just having a good time. They're laughing, they're joking, the players are starting to get more into the characters, so it's a really fun game to watch. Even though I'm not participating in the game, I'm not a player in the game, as a viewer, I gotta say, I enjoy it almost more than I'm enjoying most other games. I'm pretty excited because Geek and Sundry just released episode 3 of Relics and Rarities, and as I've mentioned, I really like what they're doing with Relics and Rarities. See, this is another one. Relics and Rarities is a highly produced game. Now that being said, I'm not watching the Twitch scheme. I can speak. I'm not watching the Twitch stream or the alpha stream. Now, I'm not watching the actual gameplay, which I don't know if they even do put out there. I'm watching what's done after the fact, which is the YouTube videos, which have been edited. They've added some sound effects. They've clipped and cut and shortened the game. And from what I've seen on there, it's awesome. Highly produced, but awesome. And it has a totally different game. It's an edgy, almost like a horror, fantasy kind of vibe. More like a mystery. Every session, so far, Deborah Ann Wall, I've only seen 2 sessions, but the first 2 sessions she's done, they almost have this kind of like murder mystery feel, where no one is directly threatened per se. There's still combat. It's still a D&D game, but it's like, but they're trying to figure out like a whodunit kind of scenario. I am hoping that it keeps going that way, like, because it's neat. It's interesting. It's so different than all the other games that I've watched. Most other games are these, like these epic stories of, go find the dragon and get the treasure. And I'm being cheeky and generic, but you get the point. This sort of epic story, or this sandbox like Matt Mercer's world, where it's kind of like, what do you guys want to do? And where do you want to go? And let's see what happens. To modules and things like that. Deborah's game is pretty interesting, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm excited. I'm probably going to listen to episode 3 Relics and Rarities today. So if I finish that today, I'll report on it tomorrow and tell you what I think. That's about all I got to say today. If you haven't checked out the chain, go check out that. There's no critical. It's Thursday, but there's no critical role this week. So maybe the chain of Acheron, which is MCDM, or maybe Relics and Rarities, which is, you know, Geek and Sundry. Maybe that might suit your fancy. You never know. Go check them out. If not, there's always Adventure Zone, Sirens of the Realm, Dice Camera Action. There's a million. There's so many. I'm not even naming all of them. There's probably hundreds of games out there now. And hey, I'm promoting everybody else's game, but I should say, hey, come check out Kingdom of Magic. Our games are pretty fun. And there's also Car Wars and Battletech, which not many other people out there are doing. So hey, there you go. I hope to see you at a table someday. I'm so grateful you guys stopped by. Give me a thumbs up and a like. Give me, please share this stuff. In the meantime, keep rolling 20s. And remember, it's your game. Play your way.